Welcome back, YouTubers and Madden fans. This is Madden Money Shot, sniffing out the Madden cheese as always. I got some plays for you today out of the Carolina Panthers playbook. More particularly, plays from my Carolina Panthers ebook that I put out recently. That, as far as I'm concerned, is my favorite playbook. The Carolina Panthers playbook, I'm putting my name on it right now. To me, it's the best book in the game. For me, that's not for everybody. Honestly, the Patriots playbook that I did might be the best playbook, or the Saints for that matter. But realistically, I don't really like using the same stuff everybody else uses. Everybody uses the Patriots, and the Saints I've been using for like 2-3 years. So I like new challenges, and in my opinion, this Panthers playbook is that. And basically, this formation is probably the reason that I like using the Panthers playbook. It's also in the Steelers playbook if you use that. I'm going to be doing a breakdown of that pretty soon. I'm going to try to work that out this weekend actually. But realistically, you know, this formation is just money. I already went over the verticals. I'm going to go over it again quickly because obviously that's the main play. You know what I'm saying? That play is the reason I use this playbook as much as this entire formation. But I'm also going to try to show a couple of different plays out of it that you can run off of it that are going to be really successful in this video, as long as it doesn't go on too long. So realistically, I put a lot of time in this. I've made some really great complementary plays. But let's start off with the verticals, because like I said, I've already put this out, but a lot of you might not have seen that. And then on top of that, I'm going to do it a little bit differently. What I'm going to do today, which I don't typically do, is I'm going to show you how this beats every single coverage in this game. Not only does this beat every coverage in this game, but you will dictate what your opponent runs based off of this play. You will basically force them to run whatever coverage you want based off of how you run this play. That's how dominant this play is. And I've done it a million times online. So first thing I'm going to start off with is cover 2, then we'll work my way back to cover 3, cover 4. I'm going to show you how, how every individual route beats a different coverage on this play. So let's start off with cover 2, like I said. So realistically, like I said, cover 2, the adjustment is nothing. There's no adjustment. Just motioning out Samuel here is the adjustment. So for cover 2, I got two choices. I can pretty much go over the middle with Olsen and Moore, or I can throw it to McCaffrey past a certain point where I'm just gonna have to pass lead inside with McCaffrey. I could also put triangle here on a drag, and then I could hit the circle route. Now for the circle route, the ball would have to be over here a little bit, but let's go ahead and let's do that. So since I've identified cover 2, which is an easy read, by the way. You can tell what a cover 2 is based off of how far apart the safeties are typically. Typically the ratio of the safeties being that far apart means cover 2, and the cornerbacks being down as far as they are typically means cover 2. Sometimes with the cover 4 they'll be back a little bit further, but it's something that you just kind of get from experience. So like I said, if I want to work that circle route, the triangle route, dragging him like this is really going to be the way as I get sacked. That's one issue that's going to be the thing with this horrible offensive line I have. I can't really say that the Panthers, they have like one of the worst offensive lines of football. So let's try that one more time. Hopefully they'll keep Von Miller off of me. But like I said, pass leading that away from the safety, because the way that slanting receiver works, it's basically going to pull any middle linebacker in the direct. Actually, it's the combination of Moore and Olsen. I shouldn't just give a credit to that guy. But like I said, this slant here is going to get that guy's attention, and then you can split the middle a lot of times and take to the house. I mean, it's a realistic opportunity. So now if I'm doing against cover 3, it's a completely different route. There's a couple different ways that this beats cover 3, to be honest with you. Just like cover 2. There's a couple different ways that it beats cover 2. There's a couple different ways it beats cover 3, and etc. Let's move on. So trying to do this quick because I don't want this to be too long since I already went over it. But against cover 3, you'll beat it 2 different ways. Number 1, Samuel will get open immediately. And I've showed that in previous breakdowns. And if you can make that guy miss, you can house it, because I've done that from time to time. So, motioning out Samuel the same way, he'll get open immediately against cover 3. And if you do this enough, your opponent will not run cover 3 the rest of the game. You know what I'm saying? If you beat him with this a couple times to steal that instant yards like that, he's going to stop running cover 3. It's happened to me a million times. So the other way to beat cover 3 is McCaffrey. The way this cornerback drops back, he doesn't really cover anybody. You know what I mean? Like, he just kind of drops back. That's why zones suck this year. They don't make a choice. They don't make a decision. You know what I mean? They'll basically just drop back and make sure they don't get beat long for the most part. But you really have your choice. You can take this instant yardage like this guy here, or you can take that deep yardage. I don't know what happened there. Or you can take the deep yardage, which is just holding the ball a little bit. Now there's a better chance that your user, honestly, I don't want to say that. You should just read what your user's doing. If you're stealing circle over and over and over, eventually he's going to try to cheat down and take that. And that'll just leave this triangle route just wide open up the seam. And once again, if you have a fast running back, you can potentially break that for a much bigger gain than I'm getting. Now, if we run this play against, if somebody on your opponent's side runs cover 4 or cover 6, which aren't the most popular, but if they do make that mistake, because I've run into people that still for some reason think cover 4 quarters quarters is a good defense this year. So whether your opponent likes to run cover 6 or cover 4, or you're playing solo battles, they run that quite a bit. The R1 route here is going to be a touchdown pretty much every time. You just have to buy time in the pocket, and then look how wide open that is. Like I said, people online typically don't run cover 4. They kind of figured out that it really sucks this year, but there's still a lot of people that I run into that for whatever reason run that defense thinking that it's as good as it was last year, and I have no idea why. But if you do catch somebody in this mistake, just make them pay for it with this R1 route. Like I said, look how wide open that is. Or just like I said, if you're running this in solo battles, I run this quite a bit, and it's pretty dominant there too. And then last but not least, if you have an opponent running man coverage, this is going to be pretty good against that too. So let's go ahead and let's pick the more popular man coverage, which is cover 1, based off of my suggestion. Cover 1 hole is pretty popular this year, so let's pick that. Another scenario where this will basically break, your opponent from using this coverage, but the circle route here is probably the easiest play to make. The R1 route is really good too, as you can see right there. I mean, it's passed, but he doesn't quite have the speed to get past Roby, but it's all good. Realistically, against most cornerbacks that aren't as fast as Roby, Samuel will be gone. But the other option is the R1 route once again. You just kind of have to pass lead him away, and I didn't do a great job there passing him away from the safety, but it's a hard pass lead, I'm not going to lie. So the first play that I kind of built off of this one to complement it was the trail. So let's go ahead and let's pick that. We're going to go random nickel again. All I really do is put circle on an out route and put X on a streak. That's your tight end. That's basically just going to pull coverage back so those routes can get open underneath it. I'm also looking over here, like the triangle route with that combination of that out route, it was going to get him open quite a bit. If your opponent starts trying to cheat over and take away these routes, hitting them with this is going to be a really good compliment that they're not going to expect. And then obviously McCaffrey here is a really good check down. I run this play, honestly, I run this play the most once I get about inside the 20 to the 15. I find it's really good, somewhere in that range to score. This concept is very similar to something that I put out from the Saints, which is I think why I came up with it and why I like it. But basically that streak right, I mean, it pulls that window. Like you see the underneath guy pulls the window for the back. And then the streak pulls the window too. You just have the way that the routes are set up on that side. They're just basically pulling for McCaffrey pretty much every time. And then you have your check down too, which is triangle. There we get him in the back of the end zone. Like I said, this works best against users based off the fact that they're just kind of expecting the first play so much based off of how much I run it, and then I'll just sprinkle this in, catch them with their pants down type of thing. But like I said, there's so many different routes here. Like Olsen finally hangs on to it. He's kind of like first read, I would say. So I'm cutting the field in half pre-snap. I mean, that's important to say. So like right here, that looks like a man. So that square route's going to beat that man up pretty much every time. Your two routes on the left there are going to beat man. McCaffrey and Bird are going to beat man. Triangle pretty much should too. But, I'm not entirely, like that looked like it was a man coverage there. So you have 3 man beaters, and then you have your zone beaters, which are pretty much Olsen and Bird. I had to remember the name there, but that's pretty much your zone beaters. Like more, I mean, the triangle route can beat zone 2. Like I said, this guy right here, like look at that. That's such a sharp cutting angle. One of those guys should be open every time on the left side. The last play is pretty much the same thing. The spot and go or the Z spot. Take your pick. I like the spot and go, although I don't think it really matters. The Z spot's probably more effective, but just for whatever reason, I like the spot and go. So let's go ahead and let's pick that. All this really is, all you're going to do is you're going to put Samuel on a streak. I probably want to move back, but I'm going to run it like this. Samuel is your cover 2 beater, which just looks like a cover 2. I'll go ahead and I'll try to force that inside there. You can see it just kind of streaks right open up the middle, and that's a big play pretty much every time. And then you're basically reading McCaffrey and Olsen. If I don't, like here, I'm pretty sure it's not a cover 2. So I'm just going to read McCaffrey and Olsen. Whoever's open first is going to get the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like he just kind of cuts open there into the sideline, and he's just going to get it right away. So that's your read. Like this might be a cover 2, so I'll be looking circles way. It's not a cover 2. The safety changed. So there, I mean, McCaffrey's got some serious feet hands right now. I don't know what's going on. So, once again, not cover 2. I can tell right away off the coverage. It looks like a man coverage, so I'm going to hold that. The man beater is going to be Olsen. That's an important thing to remember. I mean, your only real man beater on the right side is Olsen, so remember that. So here we go once again. Pulling back the coverage, catching around with McCaffrey. Kind of did a weird animation there. Would have liked to catch it in stride, but it's all good. So that's pretty much it. A full breakdown of the empty bunch. When I originally did the video, I only did the one play, the verticals, but I wanted to get more stuff around it because, like I said, to me, it's the best play in the game. Without a doubt, I think this is the best play in Madden 19. So that's it. If you guys want to see more videos out of the Carolina Panthers playbook, you can either check out the ebook or you can hit the like button, let me know in the comment section, and I'll put out more videos from it here. And that's it. Other than that, thanks for watching Madden Money Shot out. Need more help or just want to show your support? Then head over to my Patreon and join my team, where you can get exclusive content like ebooks and bonus plays, as well as early access to my vids and more. Link in the description below.